everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I hope today has been treating you well. In today's video I am going to be taking part in a video tag that I saw the lovely Gabriella Francis take part in. As I'm filming this, it was last week, but you're probably not going to see this for a couple of weeks. It was a little while ago, but I have decided to sort of answer the prompts that she answered in her video, and I will leave her video and also the creator of this tag, because it wasn't Gabriella who created this, it was another creator and the name has just escaped me. I can't remember, but I will leave all relevant creators that need to be credited, I will leave down below, and these are my responses to the 15 prompts. I will leave them down in the description box and also in the pinned comment down below, so I would love to hear what your responses would be for all of these prompts, and let's will any of them be the same as mine? Let's wait and see. So question number one, or like prompt number one, is wedding/wedding guest. And if you saw this makeup look, which will have been posted last week, if you saw this look, then you will know what eyeshadow palette I used for this and why that is relevant. This whole face of makeup is the makeup that I would wear if I was getting married this year. So the eyeshadow palette that I used for this look is the MUA Ultimate Obsession Matte eyeshadow palette. This is such a great basic matte eyeshadow palette. No fuss at all, just absolutely phenomenal quality eyeshadows. So affordable, so affordable, but also incredible quality, like such incredible quality that I would trust it for my wedding day makeup if I was getting married again, which I'm hoping isn't gonna happen again. But this is the eyeshadow palette that I would use. For this look, I basically stuck in the whole second row with those like warmer tones. I was definitely thinking that I was gonna stick more in the pinks, but it just sort of happened that way. I went a little bit more warm toned brown, but this has got everything. This has got your cool tones, it's got your pinky toned browns, it's got warmer toned browns and also more like purpley tones. It's just beautiful. So fantastic for a bridal sort of makeup look where you want a warm brown sort of smoky eye look. Definitely topped with a glitter because it's me and I'm a magpie. Definitely topped with a glitter, a liquid glitter, but for the eyeshadows, for the base layers, and if you just wanted something all matte, absolutely no questions asked, would choose that one. So for prompt number 2, date night, this is where we're getting into the colours now. I've got a stack here of basically all of my favourite palettes and we're getting into the colours now. So for date night, I would choose the Pastel Roses Crushed Diamonds eyeshadow palette. This is 02. I think if you want something romantic and pink, but also like the shimmers in here are phenomenal. so smooth and foiled and beautiful, and I think there's something so romantic about a pink eye look, like a pink smoky eye with like the pops of something really nice and glittery. Date night, I would choose the Pastel Roses. You'll see in a minute, but I think that I would definitely use like these sort of bright shimmery pops for a date night sort of a look. Something like this, but maybe with a bit more colour, like a pop of something a little bit more. I feel like there's sort of unwritten rules when it comes to wedding makeup, which is why I chose this. I'm definitely more of a colourful eyeshadow kind of gal, just on an everyday, but I feel like date night you can sort of push the boat out a little bit. So the next prompt is girls night, and this is where I basically go off the rails. I get so many compliments whenever I use any of my Pastel Roses multichromes. So technically this isn't This is a magnetic palette and this is all of my pastel roses. I would use any multi-chrome because I think there's just something so special about them. Obviously you can use these whenever you want, and obviously like I've already mentioned, I'm a magpie. I use these just on an everyday. I'm an everyday multi-chrome kind of gal, but I think if you're going out with your gals, if you're spending time around your girlfriends, you know that they value a beautiful multi-chrome eyeshadow. Your husband, your boyfriend, maybe not so much, but the girls, they know. These are so shifty, so reflective, so easy to use, and I think you could use any like multi-chrome, create any sort of look, you know, match your outfit depending on what you're doing. I mean, my kind of gal's night is a charcuterie board in our pajamas, no makeup, but anything that is like special, I feel like the girls appreciate that. Or my girls do anyway. Prompt number 4 is vacation, or if you're in the UK, holiday. And if I were going on any sort of holiday, I would definitely want something that was versatile. I would definitely want something that I felt like could go darker and smokier if I was going out for a meal, or I could just do something that was like a wash of something nice and shimmery if it was just an everyday, but that would have that scope, that would have that variety, that would have those deep shades, but also the light shades in something colourful, in something that I felt like I could still express my creativity, but just in one palette. And there's definitely a few that I could choose for this, but I decided to settle on the Cosmic Brushes Serenity because it's got the darker shades, it's got the lighter shades, it's got the shimmers that I feel like you could just put on the lid, blend out with a bit of bronzer or blend out with one of the more neutral shades, and you could create a very, very easy sort of fresh eye look. But you could also do something that was more deep. You could also do something that was more of like a pop of colour on the inner corner, which is a look that I absolutely love to do, specifically with like the bright green or the bright blue. Like there's so many ways that you could use this. The shimmers are, don't even get me started. The shimmers are beautiful, so pretty. I definitely reach for like the purpley tones in this. I reach for a ton because I love this shade down on the bottom row, Ether, which is a duochrome that's like a lilac to a baby blue. It's just so beautiful, so beautiful, and it has that variety where I feel like if I was just taking one palette on a holiday, which if I was going on any sort of holiday I would have to only take one, unfortunately I couldn't take my whole makeup room, I would take something like this that had the variety and those options. Now prompt number 5 is graduation. Can't relate, never went to my graduation. Here's the thing, I would be the person that fell on the stage and ripped the curtains, pulled down all of the stage. That would be me. I am so clumsy. That would be me. And also, I'm not getting up in front of a crowd of people. I'll sit here and talk to a camera that could potentially go out to, you know, the whole world. I'm not getting up on a stage in front of people. So, my graduation look would be no, but also, if I was going to graduation, I would want something quite dark and quite smoky, but also quite neutral. I wouldn't want to draw attention to myself. So I would choose the MUA Nocturnal palette. There's something special about this. This shade here, which is called Stella, it's like a browny neutral, but when it catches the light, it's almost got like a turquoisey, bluey shift to it. I would probably honestly just put that all over the lid and blend it out with like one of the, maybe the blue or like the sort of reddy brown shade. Really like buff it out, blend it out, and just have that like smooth duochrome sort of a look across the lid, but that's still quite dark and quite glam. Whereas for girls' night, I chose my Pastel Roses collection. I would want something that was a bit more subdued. For graduation, I don't feel like the people would appreciate it, and also you probably wouldn't see it. So something like that, where it's like, it's different, it's still special, but it's slightly darker and just different. I feel like something like this, where it's darker and smokier, would definitely create that sort of special occasion, glamorous sort of a look that you would probably want if you were going to turn up to your graduation, which, not for me. For prompt number 6, Christmas Day. Again, am I getting out of my pyjamas on Christmas Day? Absolutely not. Am I also doing a full face of makeup in my cat onesie with my little ears? Probably. Probably. I think for Christmas, I feel like a lot of people, I've watched a few people's responses to this video, and a lot of people have gone for like the red and green option, which is great. Not for me. I don't really like red on the eye. For me, Christmas is gold. Straight up, unadulterated gold. So it has to be neutral. Cosmic brushes, neutrals. And it would be Luxe with like these golden tones, but probably Luxe across like the lid, but grounded by the golds, so it brought out more of the gold shift side to that duochrome, where it's like gold but also like lime green. It's a very, very special shade. It's a very, very special shade to me. I absolutely love it. I also love Radiant, this one. That's definitely got like a golden shift to it as well. You can't see it quite so much, but it's definitely got a gold undertone to it, so you could do a completely gold themed eye look, but definitely like these like icon as like the gold base with like Luxe over the top, a wing, a big lash, the whole thing, probably a red lip. To me, Christmas is more about a red lip than it is about a red and green eye look. I appreciate a lot of people would probably love like a green with like a red sort of cut crease, something like that. I'm definitely more of a red lip at Christmas kind of gal. Then reapply after you've eaten all of the roast potatoes. All of them. The limit does not exist when it comes to roast potatoes. Right, what's the next prompt? I'm getting distracted by roast potatoes. It's definitely tea time. Number 7, birthday party. I'm going for all the colour. I'm going for all of the colour, and it has to be the Beauty Bay Retro Love palette. I need no excuse to use this. It's a close call between this one and one that's coming up in a minute. I think that this might be my favourite eyeshadow palette of all time. There's just something about it, it's so bright. You can do so much with this. It's a colour story that I feel like on first glance looks so intimidating, but for someone like me that likes a lot of colour and likes contrasting colours, this is just absolutely beautiful. If I was doing a birthday sort of a look, I would use something like this. I would do something sort of very colourful through the crease. I would top the whole thing with Love Train. That is like the most beautiful sheer wash of shimmer that just adapts to all of the colours underneath it. Absolutely beautiful. Goes with absolutely everything. I could happily just have this eyeshadow palette in my collection. It just works for everything, and I don't want to go on about it too much because you can't get it anymore. But Beauty Bay's limited edition palettes are just something else. I'm hoping we get a new one soon. As I'm filming this, there haven't been any sneak peeks. I'm hoping that we get something like early October. Beauty Bay. Are we getting something early October? Then number 8 is office. Again, can't relate, never had an office job, but if I was wanting something that was sort of light, everyday, but also that made me feel a little bit special, a little bit of a special tone, the MUA Utopia eyeshadow palette. This has got 3 completely basic pinky toned nude matte shades. You can do the most basic of eye looks, but then it's got this incredible duo multi-chrome on the end that's like brown but also lilac but also like a bright baby blue. So you can wash that across the lid, you can buff it out with one of these shades, you can be done very, very quickly, most importantly, very, very quickly. And it doesn't really look like anything. It doesn't really look like the Pastel Roses Multichromes where it is Seen from Outer Space Shift, but it has that little bit of something special that I feel like, honestly, if I worked in an office, it would just get me through my day knowing that I had something so beautiful on, because really, like, I wasn't gonna swatch these shades, but like, it's like the slightest little wash of something. Is this just the slightest little wash of something? And like, it doesn't, it's not an offensive amount of colour where I still feel like it looks professional. Like I said, never worked in an office, but it's something. It's definitely something. And if this pile of eyeshadow palettes has not taught you anything, MUA eyeshadows are absolutely fantastic. Absolutely 10 out of 10. What was the next prompt? 9, Errands / everyday go-to. The Colourpop Sweet Talk Pressed Powder Palette. Whenever I wear this, just out and about, just go into Tesco, just go into Asda, whenever I wear this, somebody stops me and says how nice my eyeshadow is. Every single time. And I'm not exaggerating. Every single time somebody stops me in the street, if I wear this to work, somebody stops me and they say, your eyeshadow is beautiful. Your eyes look beautiful. Like, it just, there's something about the colour story that makes my eyes pop. I've got blue eyes, so these like peachy tones make my eyes pop, which I think is what draws people in. But let me try and angle this so that it's not reflecting off my ring light, because it's these like peachy orange tones, but also the shimmers are beautiful, but also the mattes are incredible. It's just, again, similar to the last one, it's a neutral, it's a simple look to sort of pull together, but something about the tones. Something about the tones. Whenever I wear this, I get so many compliments, and I always feel very confident when I wear this because it's not too bright and it's not drawing attention to me, but also it just works fantastically well. And yeah, the colours just work together. It's just mindless, honestly. You can just do like 2 mattes, you could just do 1 matte, you can just do 1 shimmer, and you're done. But also, if you wanted to do something a little bit sort of smokier, I could absolutely have created this sort of look with this palette. It's just beautiful. Number 10, New Year's. I feel like for New Year's, it's sort of become the accepted standard that everybody wears like cool tones and everybody wears silver. I'm not really a cool toned kind of gal. I don't love a cool tone. But if I was going out for New Year's, I would buy into that. I would play along. So I would go in with the Beauty Bay Smoky. You can use this for a cool toned smoky eye, and that's the sort of look that I would do. I would do something really blown out. Honestly, I would probably like use this and then do like a bright blue wing, because that's the sort of makeup that I do. But this, whoop, nearly dropped it then. This, for a cool toned smoky eye, it has absolutely everything. It's got more like bluey shades, but then it's also got some that are almost leaning a little bit pinky. There's a variety of cool tones. There's different ways that you can go with it. It's definitely not a palette that I reach for because it's not a colour story that I necessarily resonate a ton with, but for New Year's, for that sort of occasion where I'm definitely in bed at midnight usually, but if I was going out for New Year's, like I say, I would buy into the whole New Year's you wear cool tones. So this is the palette that I would go for. You could do, like I say, you could just do a wash of something a little bit shimmery across the lid and blend it out with one of the other shades, or you could do something really complex. I love the variety in these 42 pan eyeshadows. I just think that they are, firstly, fantastic value for money, but also you're not missing out on anything. Like, I'm never gonna have to buy another cool tone ever again. You've just got absolutely everything. My table is, I'm gonna put it on the floor. My table is piling high. So number 11, concert. Firstly, you'd never see me at a concert, but secondly, if I was, the Plush palette from Sample Beauty. If I wanted to do something that was just a bronzy, orangey wash or something across the lid, you could do that. But also, I feel like if I'm going to the effort of leaving the house and going to a concert, I'm also going to do a purple and green cut crease. So that's a look that I love to do, and it's one that if I'm going to do, I'm going to probably use this palette. These mattes are phenomenal. I almost picked this palette when I was doing what I would wear for my wedding makeup. I almost picked this. I decided on the other one in the end, but if I was going to a concert, I would probably do something quite bold and quite colourful because you're probably going to be in a dark room, and I feel like my outfit's probably going to be quite boring. I want to wear quite a lot of colour on the eye. Like I say, probably like a purple to green cut crease. I know it's not for everybody, but I love a colourful eye look. And also, if I'm going to a concert, I'm probably having to travel there, stay in a hotel, so I'm probably going to need a palette that's going to last like a couple of days. This is it. This has all of your neutrals if you wanted to do something neutral, but also I know myself and I know I'm going to want a colourful eye look, so I can do basically the two colours that I love to wear, which is purple and teal, and then there's also like the orangey tones that I don't even count as like a colourful eye look. But this is such a fantastic palette, and again, it's another one I don't think you can get. So then we're on to the seasonal ones. Spring. I look forward to, this is another one that you can't get, I'm sorry, it's another one that you can't buy anymore. Beauty Bay Pastels. Tell me that that is not spring in an eyeshadow palette. This is all matte, which again, I really, really like because I can use something like this and then I can tap over one of my pastel roses, or just tap over something like the Collection Diamond Shine highlighter to add that shimmer that will like go over any colour. But this, every single spring, without fail, comes out and becomes a favourite. Like when it gets to this time of year where it's like coming into autumn, as much as I am loving autumn looks and looking forward to autumn looks, I'm already excited about spring and using my Beauty Bay Pastels palette because it's another one that's absolutely beautiful. And again, I hope that they bring out a 42 pan sort of collection with pastels, because this formula is phenomenal. And they don't make it anymore, and it's so sad. It's such a beautiful formula. And honestly, I use this a ton and it barely looks like these have even been touched. but I use it so much in spring. Then summer, the one that I have been using all summer long, and if it's a fight between this one and Retro Love for like my overall favourite of all time. This is the Cosmic Brushes Delicious Delights palette. Tell me that that is not summer in an eyeshadow palette. Like the bright pops of almost like neon shades that lean light. It's almost like spring to summer. This could absolutely be a spring palette. If we're going just on palettes that are available, this is spring and summer. It's just beautiful. And again, the shifts, the duochromes, the multichromes, the design, like just everything about this palette, even just looking at it, even just looking at these colours, because they're so vibrant, and like the names, we've got frosting, we've got marshmallow, we've got minty, we've got zesty. Even the names scream summer. And again, I'm already excited about summer coming back round again. I'm gonna absolutely be using this all autumn and winter, but oh, this could be quite wintry. That like row across the bottom with the blues. I'm like convincing myself to use this every single day. This would be summer, 100%. Then, this is such an obvious choice. Like, tell me that this is not the most obvious choice when you hear winter as a prompt. It's literally in the name. The Cosmic Brushes Winter Wonderland palette. It's snowy, it's icy, it's frosty, it's all of the things that you think of when you think of wintry tones, when you think of wintry weather, when you think of sort of icicles and snow and all of the cold, chilly things. I didn't have this last winter. I got this when they restocked it in like spring. I am going to love this in winter. And again, because this has the duochromes that have like, I told myself I wasn't going to swatch anything. Winter Solstice is like a peachy, pinky shade when it catches the light, but then when it doesn't catch the light, and it's that bright baby blue. Oh, so good. It's just, you know what it is? It's Frozen. It's Elsa in her ice castle. It's all of that. And I love Frozen. That's what this reminds me of, like Elsa's dress and her hair and just all of the scenery, the Marshmallow Man. It's the whole thing. And even though I don't like cool tones, I love blue. I love cool tones that are colours. I just don't really like grey. But this, with those teals as well, those tealy turquoises, we love. And then the last prompt, did it say fall? Was it someone? Yeah, it says fall again. I'm from the UK, we say autumn, but autumn/fall, and I am giving myself away a little bit here because if you don't know, every year in October I do Everyday October, and one of the first videos that you will see is a pumpkin spice eyeshadow look, and that is just autumn to me. A warm orangey pumpkin spice eyeshadow look screams autumn, and the eyeshadow palette that I'm going to be using for that look and the eyeshadow palette that just encompasses fall for me is the Beauty Bay Fiery 2.0. You could absolutely use Rich. I feel like this is more orangey, so it definitely has more of that fall vibe for me. And if I show you, this just is pumpkin spice. It's also like cranberries, you know? It's that like berry toned, but also pumpkin spice, which is what autumn/fall is for me in an eyeshadow look. So that will be coming very, very soon. Like I say, I will be filming all of the autumn makeup looks, and this will feature probably quite heavily. You'll probably see this a few times during October, but that is all of the eyeshadow palettes that I wanted to mention for this tag video. Like I say, I will leave all of these prompts in the description box and also in a pinned comment down below so that you can join in with your responses to these prompts as well. Thank you ever so much to the lovely Gabriella Francis for bringing this video idea to me. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you made it to the very, very end of this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. That really does help me out when you press that thumbs up button. Also go and check out the video that inspired me to do this from the lovely Gabriella Francis. Like I say, I'll leave her channel and her video linked down below, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have known about this tag. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.